This game is garbage. I think this might actually be the worst basketball video game I've ever played. I mean, just look at it. Ultimate Basketball on the NES is an absolute abomination. Everything about this game is wrong. Oh, so wrong. You know, this game is so bad that I honestly don't really know where to begin. Every single aspect of this game is done wrong. It's actually really impressive when you think about it. Let's start with the Team Select screen. You want to go up to select Los Angeles, you have to push the right button, not up. Now in theory, these teams all have their own personalities and different players. In reality, they all play exactly the same, and the computer steals the ball like it's going out of fashion. It's unplayable, and I mean that literally. It's literally unplayable. There's something wrong with this game that makes it impossible to play. It takes a while to figure out how to pass the ball inbounds. The trick is that you can't pass it in the direction of the guy who's guarding you. But that means waiting for the stupid arrow on top of your players to change. And you only have like 5 seconds. The game enforces the 5-second rule. Well, you know it's a bad sign when the hardest part of your basketball game is making the inbounds pass, but it gets worse from there. There is literally nothing you can do on defense. Pushing A makes your guy pose like the Statue of Liberty. B makes you jump, which doesn't help. And it's impossible to steal the ball. The manual, which is almost as bad as the game, says that you can steal the ball automatically by standing close to the player for 2 seconds. In reality, you can run right on top of the player down the court and you still won't steal the ball. Meanwhile, the computer can steal the ball from you anytime it wants. So honestly, I think this was due to a programming flaw. I mean, this is the only thing that makes sense. The game just wasn't made correctly. You get these cutscenes when you go up for a dunk. You're supposed to push the button at the right time. If you don't, you'll be called for traveling. And the computer travels all the time, which actually is hilarious. It's like the cut scenes from Double Dribble. Except, of course, that you have to do something when you're on offense. If you're on defense, though, there's just nothing you can do. So why even bother having the player there on defense if he can't actually play defense? I mean, seriously, who thought of this? Who designed this game? Now, according to the manual, you can apparently make substitutions. I didn't know this until all of a sudden the computer started making its own substitutions. None of this made much sense, but it doesn't matter. The players played the same way no matter who's out there. Anyway, if you look closely at the manual, you will notice that you can't just call timeout like in a normal game. To substitute, you have to wait for a referee call like charging, or you have to have a guy commit 5 fouls, or somebody has to throw the ball out of bounds. You then push the select button and can make a substitution. Well, that's how it works in theory, I guess, but it's definitely not how it works in practice. Okay, so I got the ball here after whatever happened. I push select over and over again, but nothing happens. then, after I get charged for 5 seconds, I finally can make the substitution. And what's the point of this anyway? I mean, I don't know who any of these guys are, and I really don't care. Now, I was going to tell you all about how this game was like influential despite its flaws or whatever, but then I did the research. The player's sprites and animations are stolen from Double Dribble. Seriously, look, they're exactly the same. Except, of course, that Double Dribble is actually, you know, a good game. Ultimate Basketball is nothing but stinking, rotting garbage. So can you imagine being a kid in like 1990, having an NES, and getting this game instead of, you know, Double Dribble? I mean, I think that constitutes child abuse. But you've still got the cutscenes, right? Sure, they had those in Double Dribble. But these ones look different, don't they? Actually, they look kind of like the scenes in Pat Riley Basketball on the Sega Genesis. So both of these games came out in 1990, but when you look more closely, you'll realize that Pat Riley's game actually came out first. In other words, Ultimate Basketball ripped off Pat Riley's Basketball. The Pat Riley game was released in March 1990 in Japan. Ultimate Basketball was first released in September 1990 in the United States. And it's obvious from just playing this game that it was rushed out as quickly as possible. Anyway, honestly, I really think that this may be the worst basketball video game of all time. I mean, it's impossible to control. You think you pass the ball inbounds and then it's stolen. The cutscenes are almost completely meaningless. It's almost impossible to make substitutions. You can't call timeout. You can't really make a shot other than a dunk. It's impossible to steal the ball, literally impossible. The only redeeming quality that this game has is the cheerleader show at halftime. And even then, great basketball on the Sega Master System had a cuter cheerleader show. There is nothing good about this game whatsoever. Anyway, I think this is it. I think we found it. I mean, I really think this is the worst basketball video game of all time. I mean, it's just fundamentally broken. I don't even know how to begin playing it. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you know of anything worse than this one, but this one's bad.